Hello, everyone. This is Just Trying to Play It, and today we are just trying to play Little Big Workshop. It's a game by Mirage Studios, and I believe this game has been out for quite some time. I want to say sometime September, October 2019 ish. It's a cute little game. I played a little bit of it when it first came out. I liked it. Um, COVID-19 and a few other things happened, so unfortunately I wasn't able to get back to it, which I thought I would, considering I would probably have some time, but I didn't, and unfortunately it sat there for a bit. But I think now would be a great time for me to get back to it. Little Big Workshop is a game that I like the genre, plus the little people on it are so cute. So we're gonna start a new game and we're gonna get into it. My factory name is going to be, I don't know, I have a weird nickname, so just bear with me. We're gonna call it Stubby Products, which is just, some generic name or whatever. And Stubby is mainly because also these guys are little, they're short, they're cute, and that to me is Stubby. It can be something else, but that's what we're going to use the word stubby for today. We're going to start it and we're going to get going. I like this game because it's where you're making products and you're actually selling them to improve your, you can improve your people. You also can improve your equipment, your factory. You buy more land. It's just a wonderful little game, and I think it's really made really cute. Plus, the concept that it's really on top of someone's desk is really just cute. So this game, I think we start off with our people. We can move around here. We see what's going on. Phones ringing. Hello there. I just opened a new shop close to your factory. And seeing as you are new here, maybe we could help each other out. Get yourself a workbench and take a look around. I'll call again in a bit. So, now we're going to purchase our first workbench, which is great. Usually I use this area here for storage because it's the first thing that happens, the first place when they come in. So, I'm going to place this workbench here. And I'm going to order it. And luckily the truck comes right away once you hit that order button. We're going to fast forward a bit. We're going to move time on. We're going to let them bring that in and set it up. And there we have it. Now we have an actual workbench, and here he goes. You got yourself a workbench, I see. You know what? I'm trying, people looking at us, and it's like they can see things they shouldn't be able to see. You know what I'm saying? It's like we got stalkers around here. But anyway, my stock of garden gnomes are getting pretty low. Can you make me a couple? Sure can. So we got in here the planning mode and everything. I'm pretty familiar with all of this. It can get complicated at times. So in all honesty, it's great to be simple. It's, you might as well enjoy the simplicity of this thing. So we're going to go ahead. Now we're going to get our materials in. We're going to move time on. The truck is coming. We don't have a place to put these, so we're going to have to designate some storage space. So we're going to go with the obvious here. And we're going to move it all over there. There we go. So now it's telling us how long it'll take. The thing I noticed here is you would think that each process is a certain percentage, obviously. But at the same time, it makes sense. I mean, it's pretty accurate because one of them is done, which is a third. So it's 33.3%, which is great. So, like I said, I'm going to speed time on until we've got these done. And then we can deliver them. And unfortunately, only one person's going to work because we only have one station. We're going to deliver them. That truck comes right away, so that's great. And I like the little guy with the little hat and stuff. And you'll notice, too, each company has their own truck and things on it. and then they have their own little delivery and pickup person. Okay, so we just made some money. We just made some favor with him as well, some experience. And obviously, the more experience we have, the better items they have. They allow us to make, and we make more money, which is always the goal. So we can see that we're making money. Sometimes, honestly, this makes no difference to me, because sometimes the experience that we're getting is more important than the profit. But I usually don't do anything that does not make a profit. Now, how much profit is one thing, but I usually don't do things that do not make any profit. So here we go. The gnomes are a hit. He wants to put up more of them for sale, but he wants some shelves that he can use for that. So now we need to plan on doing shelves, which is a little bit more complicated. So these attributes, as it says, define the quality of our product. The contract has certain requirements that we just have to hit. So here, we can't do the ones with the red background because it's telling us basically it won't allow us to hit our, based on what we can do. There's certain parts and certain quality obviously we can't use. So we're going to have to use what we have, and then I usually use the cheapest stuff. And, and I'm not ashamed of that at all. So if we do a shift, we can gather all of that. That's where that's going to go, and that's where this is going to go. Now, we do not have this workstation, so we're going to have to get an assembly. I try to put that on the end here because it needs to, get in, get out pretty quick. So what we're going to do is we're going to now have that. Now, as we're doing that, we can still link it because we know we're going to get it. So we can still link that. So we're going to do it. We're going to execute it. We have more than enough time, obviously, because this is the tutorial part. So we're going to have more than enough time to do this thing. She just passed out. Dang it. I hate that. But it was meant to happen because it's the tutorial. So we go in the break room and we start putting things in it that will allow them to, I think they want us to do like at least 3 things or so. And this allows them to recuperate, to get their energy back so they can continue to work. Now, unfortunately, we have a person down. Eventually, is it a she? Yes, I think it's a female. She will recuperate. She's getting her battery recharged, is what that looks like to me. So she's going to get her battery recharged. And while her battery's recharging, we have this one person working. But what they normally do is when something comes in that they need to set up, they set that up first. Then they finish the products they're working on. So right now, this person is going to finish as much as they can until they need a recharge. And then this person over here is almost ready to come back to work. And we can start getting a little bit more done around here. Here we go, because we got things to do. We got money to make, things to do. Let's get it done. Okay, so we are making our shells, which are going to come out oh so lovely. And the thing is too, is I really like the concept they have on this game too. It's like you can see maybe each aspect of it being done. But not only that, it's just, like I said, it's cute. You got the little people walking around and everything, little short people, and this may be standard size, or whatever, but it does not look like it. But it's really nice and cute, and I like the different surroundings and stuff around here. It's like things that you would find on a desk. It's just kind of cool. You can click this stuff. It's certain things you can play with. You can interact with. This is kind of nice. I like this. I really like this house little thing, little barn or whatever it is. But certain things you can interact with, some things you can't. And it's just really nice. It's different. I like the difference, you know, with this kind of odd. That's kind of odd. There's a little scary right there, a little scary. But you know, okay. So we did that, gained some more experience. He's back again. So he said, gnomes and shells. I reckon that I'm set up for a while. I'll get back to you later if something new comes up. Meanwhile, you should check the market. There are lots of other folks around here that need all kinds of supplies. Laters. Okay. So the market basically is telling us that we have different things that we can do. So this is going to require some plastic. It's going to require things that we don't have yet. So mainly if we don't have it, normally we don't do it. But in this case, that's not going to happen. That's not going to happen. So what I want to look for is, we don't have any challenges yet. What I want to look for is obviously something we can do. There's only one or two things that we can do. We can do these doggo houses, which I guess doggo is the new internet lingo for dogs, or I guess people think it sounds great. But anyway, we can do these dog houses. So I honestly do not care about certain things here, because I feel that I may do a couple of things and do them because they look different, but I may also do some things just because they just need to get done. So we put our target to 7. We've got everything done here. We say, let's go. Now, we're going to move time on as well. But the one thing that, you know, like I said, what's really great about this game is that you see each step. You know, there's always a step that's, you know, being done that shows the better detail. You know, so each step is going to show more of this, more of that, you know, so I like that. And, you know, it's one of those things where when you're doing something like this, the attention to detail really makes a difference to you. And I think the developers for this really paid attention to the detail. You know, the only thing is like, you can inspect it using the right, this job is going to take a really long time to finish, it says. Got it. So what we're going to end up doing is getting another assembly station. Now we'll put that one right there. We're going to order it. It's going to come. They're going to set it up. Okay, so now we're going to inspect our workstation with the right button, with the right mouse button. So now we can split this up. And we can take this and put it over there. So now that means that instead of this one doing all of them, this one takes on some. So now we gotta hire a worker, obviously, to do that. So now we have a new employee. And he's back. He sold out all of his gnomes. He needs more. Oh my god. So we're going to do them again and execute. So now we're going to have enough. So now, because this is an order, we're going to move it up. So they'll finish what they were doing at the time, and then they'll make sure that they can do the stuff that was just ordered. And you'll see them starting on that, which is exactly what they're doing at the moment. Luckily for the gnomes, it's just one station. The only thing that I hate about the gnomes is you don't see them again after the tutorial part. So that's a little unfortunate, because I would have liked to have made some more of them as time went on, because I think it's just cute and stuff. This station is going to have a problem if you don't fix it. So I like to fix it as soon as I see the issue. So we're going to deliver those. And then as time is going on, they're going to repair it. And then what they're going to do is they are going to finish up the other order. So customer relations is here. You can see which one. So there's 4 more that we have to open up, which is great. So now we need to complete both of these. So we're almost finished with this one. We have 1 more to make. You know, sometimes I wonder why it takes them so long to even grab these things. It just seems like they're jacking around, you know. But anyway, okay. So we're gonna fast forward all of this stuff, get all of this done. There we go. So we sold all that. Now, yes, we know about that. Now we've completed the in-game tutorial. Now we're kind of on our own. So, first things first, we're gonna pause. Okay, so here are our milestones that we have to accomplish in order to move on to the next and the next and the next. We have to deliver more than 100 products, complete at least 3 client challenges, which are these. They will be in this section here. We have to execute a plan with a billboard linked to it, which is not a problem because we're definitely going to use those anyway. And then reach factory level 5. So this right here needs to show 5. That's not too much of an issue either. These are all really easy things to do, and it's expected because it's the first thing we get to do. So we have 1 point we can spend, and since this is billboards is one of our things that we have to do, we're going to go ahead and pick that. Now, the billboard will help us when it comes to doing things that are on multiple. So what this does is this allows us to link different machinery to it. So you can link the same machinery to one billboard. So these 2 are assembly stations. I can link both of these to the billboard, and what the billboard would do is it will, I guess you can call it, split up the process for both of those billboards. I think what it does is it does 5, it does in increments, but I'm not sure. But anyway, it splits those up like that. So we end up with a little bit more efficient, process. So also what I'm going to do is I'm going to take advantage of the fact that I have this thing paused, and I am going to buy, let's see, maybe I should move the assembly station. I don't think the assembly station would even fit over there. So I am going to buy another woodworking station as well. Mainly because it just makes sense for me to have more than one. Now, I am probably going to get another employee in a minute, but I really want to see what's what. Yeah, so these exclamation points means that the market is expiring for those. So the next cycle, these will be obsolete. You won't need to make them because nobody wants them. The smiley face means that this is probably a good product to mass produce, so it's pretty good profit to make some money. The plus sign means that these are new products on the market as of that cycle. So knowing that, we could probably look at, now this, yes, is probably going to be easy to do, but the profit is not that much. This one is going to be a little more complicated because the profit is a little bit better. So you just have to be careful, you know, and then it'll kind of tell you how long it might take to do it. The 1 hour 16 minutes is usually roughly pretty, it's pretty accurate, but the problem is that these do not take into account multiple stations. So if I got 4 or 5 stations doing that same process, it's not going to allocate that, which is great for me because I still use this as a guideline. If I am to do something in a certain amount, like for instance, if I'm supposed to do something in 1 hour and 30 minutes, I may not do it because it says it's going to take me an hour and 16 minutes. I think these guys waste enough time to say I'm not going to cover an hour and 30 minutes. Because sometimes it's one person who'll do the actual process. So one person will cut it, the next person will come along and move it. That same person won't move it. So it takes a little time for that to happen. So I'm not going to deal with that. But anyway, what do we want to do? We want to do something that's easy, and we want to do something with wood. So I think that these shelves are probably going to be our best bet. Now, what we want is what's going to take the least amount of time. This is going to take 47 minutes. Let's see here. Hold on. I didn't link anything. God dang it. I did it again. Okay. So here, what we're doing is, let's see, we are using this. I'm going to use that. This thing, let's see, we're going to use this. Wow, this says 2 hours and 11 minutes. Okay, so as you can see, sometimes you're going to do something a little different and it's going to take less time. Problem is, though, I don't have this machine and I don't want to spend money on this machine because that means I'm going to have to expand right now, and to me it's a little early to expand. Now that's just me for right now. I'm only on day 4. It may be a good time to expand, and then again it may not, but the good thing about it is my choice. So we're gonna bend the wood. It's gonna take a little time, plus this is a market thing, so because it's a market thing that we're doing, I'm not in any hurry to necessarily crank these out. Oh dang, I forgot. Okay, so what I didn't do was here, I need to link these. So once you link one type of machinery, you go to link another one, it's only going to show you another one that's unlinked. So I'll go to that one. These two are now linked together. So when I go into my plan, I now need to link the billboard instead of linking the actual individual one. So you'll see that in a moment. So we have the straight cut, this, and this is all going to be on the same thing. So instead of me picking these two, I'm going to pick that. And then this assembly and this assembly is all going to be on assembly. So I'm going to pick this billboard, which then separates everything. Now, I want to do enough of them to where I am not wasting my time. Now, you notice, if you look and you only make one, you're only going to make $45. So you say to yourself, okay, if I'm making $45 a piece, making 2 is going to be 90, but no. Because you're making multiples, sometimes your profit per item goes up. So in this case, if I make 2, I'm getting 178. If I make 3, I'm getting 264. Now, incrementally, this is a lot better. I usually want to do something within 24 hours. So I will do enough of it so I could probably get away with this because it is not. Why is this? I'm missing something. Let's see, that's that. Let's look over here. Okay, I haven't linked all of the workstations, which I thought I was. I thought I did. Thought I grabbed that. Okay, so now I've linked everything. Now, like I was saying, okay, the profit is not a lot. You know, now the profit is different because I added that other one. So I'm going to get a decent payment. My profit is going to be okay. but it's also going to take me a lot longer. So I'm going to do 4 of them. Now, it seems like, oh, why would you just do 4? The idea is just to get something done, just to get it going. You're not paying electricity for this stuff. So just have something going at all times so that you can make, money on top of money. Now, if you're always trying to go after the most profitable thing, 9 times out of 10, you can't do it. So we're going to go ahead and let that roll. And hopefully, we are going to do enough to get another upgrade. Now, what I would like is a construction tool, if I want to expand. But I'm going to take it a little slower than that. I'm not going to be rushing through it. But, like I said, I would love to possibly get, the plastic ones going, because if you go to the market, oops, I went to planning mode, sorry. But you can see that. But anyway, if you go to the market and you look at this, now, even though we're not going to do it, but just take a look at it, or even this. You plan the product. It's all plastic stuff. Everything that has to do with plastic is here. So we're not using anything that has to do with plastic here. So it's like a whole nother production line. And that's why you're probably going to need a whole new place. Now, yeah, you could, just set up one and, one of each machine you need. And you can possibly get away with that. But if you really think about it, can you really get away with that? Because you're going to need 2 machines and you're going to try to fit it into that small little section. And it's just not going to work that way. This machine here, which is this, yeah, it can probably fit in this little spot. Let's say it does. Let's just put it there and say, okay, it's going to fit in that little spot, right? Then we go back to the plan and we say, okay, what's this one? Okay, this one is the paint station. You're going to have to set that in the middle of the thing. You don't have enough space. So now you're going to run the risk that your people are going to start tripping over stuff. They're going to get in the way. Stuff is in their way. So you just don't do it. Now, in this case, we're going to do, we're going to put some decorations. Now, I have these up here because in another playthrough, I completed some challenges and some other stuff. So I have other trophies that I can use. I'm not going to use those right now. And mainly because these give me an unfair advantage in the beginning. But, later on, they really help. But anyhow, this gives me a ×2 of any decoration that I used. So, no matter what decoration I put up, I'm going to get a multiple ×2 multiple on that. So, I'm not going to use it. I'm going to try and use, I hate this carny plant. It's the ugliest thing. I mean, it is so freaking ugly. And so, I mean, it's like, you got cactuses, you got a cactus, you got, let me use a dwarf palm. No. See, I like to use one decoration, if I can, to eliminate the negative. In this case, I would have to use 2, which will still come out to 300, but it'll take up space. So we're going to use this ugly plant. Oh my god, I think it's just ugly. I just don't like it. Well, not for decoration. It's like a little shop of horrors thing, which is probably what they're making a pun for, but still. It's like, that thing is just ugly. So we're going to move time on and finish this until we get some sort of a challenge or something. It might be on the next market cycle. But we've got people working diligently. We're going to let them finish this one first before we hire another employee. Finally got one finished. Now, as you see, they bring each item one at a time. They don't go grab everything that they need and then bring it over to the table. They go get one of this, one of that, one of this, one of, they go grab each item, each individual piece, part at a time. Now that, if you improve that, that'd be great. But yeah, see, and I'm getting less. Well, was I getting less money? No, I wasn't getting less money. It's just that it's just not worth as much. So if you look around, this is gonna be complicated. I'm not even gonna bother. So you can look around a bit and kind of see the things that might not take too long. I got out of this because this one is going to require me to use, it's going to require sewing and stuff. So since we only have wood, let's just try to stick with that for now. Let's just try to do as many wood products as we can. Now this might take a little bit because it's so many steps that's going to be on 2 machines. But as you can see, the profit is great. So what I try to do is I really do try to do something up to 24 hours. I try to make sure that something's going to last for at least, you see, it didn't do it. I could have sworn that's how it does it. As you can see, my profit per one is going to go down too. Well, profit's going up. Okay. Now, I thought by me, but they're not the same ones. So, well, regardless. Okay. So anyway, as you can see, the material for this is only going to be $90 of material. I'm going to pay my people $8.33. Now, that's based on them taking 5 days to do it. If they take less, then this actually goes down. But regardless of what happens, this is still going to be my payment. So what we're going to do is we are going to go ahead and execute. Well, no, because that goes over the 24-hour mark that I said I was going to do. So we're going to do 10 of them, which will take us under the 24-hour mark. I don't like to have them occupied that long. Now, I can easily put this on hold, but I don't want the price to go down either, so you gotta be careful with that. So we're gonna go ahead and execute that one. They're picking up stuff. There's our money, which I thought it was gonna be more than that, but I guess not. But anyway, we are now working on this new product. Now, the only issue is that you can only have, obviously, so many people working at so many stations. We have 4 stations, and we have, the 2 assemblies and 2 woodworking. Now, I want to really expand because here's my idea. My idea is that I am going to have this part expand up there. I am going to have an additional room coming like this way or something like that. So woodworking is going to be up there, and then back here is going to be plastic. Okay, and I'm probably going to expand this one more so that I have more storage space, but I want to make sure there's some place to walk. Now, I mess up a lot when it comes to that because I don't really pay attention to them getting stuck. As long as they get the job done, I don't fix them being stuck. So in this case, I probably will do it a little different, but I sometimes overlook the fact that they get stuck, and they probably could have done something faster, but because I didn't care about them being stuck, I didn't care. Now, the beauty of these challenges, okay, he's given us 2 days and 6 hours to do this. 2 days and 6 hours from the time that we accept it, not from the time that he posted. So just keep that and make that known. There's 13 units. It's $14.42. So it's a little bit over $100 a unit. Now, the beauty of this is it's going to take really 2 stations or 3. It's going, well, really 2. It's going to take one of the wood stations. It's going to take the wood station, and it needs to be painted. So actually, those are 2 really quick things to do. So once it leaves one, it's going to go to the other. All they're going to do is carve this thing. They're going to get the log, well, the planks in. They're going to make them into equal blocks. Those blocks are then going to turn into the horses. The horses are going to be painted, and then they're ready to go. So actually, this is an easy one, but the problem is we don't have a paint station. So you may ask yourself, well, should we get a paint station? Probably. And where are we going to put it? That's a good question. So what I sometimes do is I take it upon myself, and I usually use this little area here because I want the money. So we are going to set this up because we're going to do it. Okay. And we are going to buy one of these paint stations and place it out here for now. Oops, nope, don't want it there. I want it, I think it's gonna move all over there. I want it there. Now, the problem with that is now this area is gonna have a negative mood. So that means we have to buy a decoration in order to keep that area at least neutral. The good thing about that, though, is we don't have to necessarily throw that away. We can just move it when we're ready to move it. So we're going to go ahead and do this one. We're going to hopefully complete his challenge that he gave us. We won't get a billboard for this because it's just one station for right now. But when we get a second station or we expand a little more, I probably will get a billboard. Now, I am going to hire one more person just because I just feel like I need to, because I want to keep things going. Whenever someone takes a break, I want to know that someone else is still working on something. I just want to keep things going. So, okay, now we can finish this. Now we can link it to here. That's what's going to happen. It's going to do 13 of them out of his $1442.09 that he's going to pay us. This is going to give us $1,048.09. So I think that's pretty good, considering it's not going to take us that long. Now, because these things are not on contract, I'm going to move that up so that they'll make sure they do those first. So as you notice, the machine switched over if they needed to switch over. Sometimes they don't need to switch over right away, but they actually almost got those back scratchers done. So I think it's one more before those are done. So they figured, okay, they can finish those. We're going to go ahead and sell them. Because the thing is, though, is that you do need just a steady cash flow coming through. We're up to rank 21 right now. It's pretty good. Because we probably were 26 when we first started. So in this case, we're going to probably finish these things pretty quick because they go pretty quick. So you notice the blue part is telling us basically where we should be. The green part is telling us where we are. So we're ahead of the game right now. And like I said, we're probably going to finish these early. I go by that time on there just to get an idea. I usually add a little bit to it, but usually if that time is significantly under the time that they give you, it's safe to assume that you're going to make it in time, provided that you don't have like a ton of things going that may get in the way. So if you got a bunch of things being produced, those things may actually get in the way. So we're going to go ahead and deliver this. So we've got people helping them loaded up, which is great because they do get mad and they'll start tossing your materials and stuff around. And by them doing that, it leads to your people having to go all around the map to go and get these things. Usually they're in this area, but they're not in one central area. So in that case, honestly, we're at day 8. We finished that contract. We are now almost ranked number 2 with him. We're almost at level 2. We're going to probably end the episode here. So if you enjoyed it, please let me know. If you didn't enjoy it, please let me know that as well. I look forward to suggestions. I look forward to comments. I look forward to anything. Whatever you guys want to say or not say, please let me know. But, like I said, that's going to end the episode. Be safe, everyone, and hopefully I will see you next time.